And the thing is, like, we have always struggled to like write a record which is like 30 minutes long.
Mhm.
It's like all the songs we have 11 new songs on this record with two re-release tracks. We have like 13 songs. It's barely 30 minutes.
Yeah, that's
So
hardcore
like,
fashion though. It's a real
absolutely,
hardcore album when you see the
yeah,
tracks and one's like 1 minute, the longest one's like
yeah,
3 minutes. It's just like
yeah, yeah.
punches you in and out. Today we are joined with Belgian German hardcore legend Paddy of the band Nasty. If you're listening to this interview the day it drops, tonight at midnight, Nasty will be releasing their brand new album, Heartbreak Criminals, which absolutely crushes. It's brought to you by Century Media Records, and you can check that everywhere. The Spotify's, the iTunes, they got music videos for their singles. And today we have a very pleasant talk with Paddy about the making of this record, what this band means to him in his heart, a little bit of the emotions of releasing their prior record over the pandemic when they couldn't play shows, what it was like to come back, the craziness of their live shows, and he leaves us with some advice for new and aspiring bands. Well, here we go. Let's get nasty.
Hey, how are you?
Great, man. Very nice to meet you.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for having me. I'm on a festival right now, working for a band today here in Germany, and I'm stuck in a super nice backstage area because the internet connection is the best in here.
Oh, that's amazing, man. What is this
It's
festival you're at?
it's called Rocco del Schlacco.
Okay. Don't ask me to repeat that. I don't know if I can pronounce that, but that's amazing. Is it
Yeah.
like a metal and hardcore thing, or is it something else?
It's alternative.
Okay, that's so sick, man. And I'm
Yeah.
actually so stoked to spend some time with you today. I
Yeah,
know,
thanks for having me again.
yeah, anytime. I know you guys been doing your thing for a while as Nasty, but I am very new to it. And
Okay.
being a fan of metal and hardcore since I was a teenager, I'm like just thinking like, have I been under a rock or something? Because this got sent to me as like a press release, and I can't stop listening to the new one, and even went back to
Oh,
Menace and like was
nice.
jamming that this morning with my coffee and everything, and just I don't know, there's just something so raw and authentic about just like the style of music, and it's almost celebrates like everything I enjoy about hardcore. And yeah, it's just
That's
awesome.
good to hear. That's good to hear, man. I'm really happy to hear that.
Yeah, again, like I said the word authentic, and I notice
Mhm.
like sometimes like I'm listening to some newer bands, and not to hate on them or anything, but sometimes I hear like bands like trying to have an angry sound, but the
Mhm.
vibe isn't there. But when I listen to Nasty and like the latest album, it just there's something that's so raw about it. It just makes me want to like punch a hole in the wall type of shit. I kind of just want to know, where does that come from, that raw authentic aggression?
Yeah. So, I mean, we had this the style of music we try to do it like on every record. We try to improve the brutalness on every record. So I think we achieved something new on this one, especially.
Mhm.
And yeah, we like it raw. We like it heavy, and that's what we're trying to present to the people. It's rowdy and it's hard, and that's how we present the music at the end. It's like how we like it.
Yeah, and
So
it's
sometimes when we sit down in the studio and try to write a new song, we gotta do like this. Yeah, 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 cool. Yeah, boy, that's heavy. Ooh, you know.
yeah, and it's got to be thrilling writing a guitar riff that's absolutely crushing, and then bringing it to a live crowd and actually like what's I guess my question is, what does it feel like to write a riff and then just see everybody just start beating the shit out of each other and thinking, oh, I made that in my room, or like in the
That's
studio, or
that
whatever.
that's a very very good feeling actually. It's like I feel very good.
Yeah. Yeah, even I think it's really cool too, because even from where you are in the world. I don't usually like think of hardcore music. Like I'm usually like
Hmm.
when it comes to heavier stuff, my brain goes to like maybe like a power metal or like black metal type of stuff too. And I
Hmm.
kind of want to know like where you guys kind of got influenced to make this I guess Western style of music, and also like is there a scene out that way that I'm not privy to or
Yes, like especially in the area we are coming from, we have a very constant and pretty yeah we have a good scene, like hardcore scene and everything, especially in Belgium and Western Germany was pretty present, and all the known hardcore bands have toured, especially these areas, and
Mhm.
yeah, the scene is around for like 20 plus years already. So, and we evolved out of this a little bit.
What were like some of the stuff that kind of like inspired you to want to make hardcore music?
Mhm. I was very early already into hard music. I was not never that punk kid. I was always
Mhm.
listening to like I remember back then it was like Pantera, and I like the first band I was listening to like hardcore was what Hatebreed, for example. So
Mhm.
I was like I love it the hard way, and I am like if you listen to some of the riffs I do, we do, whatever, you might be influenced by Slipknot as well, you know.
Yeah.
So I'm a big Slipknot fan. Like back in the days, was like going crazy with Slipknot shirts and everything.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's so cool. Even I noticed you're wearing a Dying Fetus shirt. And now
yeah, I do.
like the the crushing of the riffs I hear in Nasty and seeing you wear that, it all makes sense now. Because to me, they're
We
like the kings of like that.
Yeah, absolutely. We did a tour with them in February this year. We did a whole European tour with Dying Fetus.
Oh, amazing. How'd that go?
Yes, it's like the mix of like being, the things like being on the road with such a legendary band was amazing for us, and also the turnouts and all, the outcome of like every show and the feedbacks and whatever we got out of this was incredibly good. So like we're very happy to do it, or to be able to do it like this. It's like the music we do is not specifically just metal based, whatever. So to know what kind of metalheads attend at a Dying Fetus show. Just staying there, just headbanging and having a good time, and then four crazy maniacs jump on stage and do their hardcore stuff.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
that, I love the mix, and I know that Dying Fetus especially does the same in the US, and we're very happy to be a part of this in Europe as well. So
Yeah, that's great. Even like I guess like some people would categorize you guys in like different genres, but at the end of the day it's like it's just heavy music too, and I think it's like very important for
absolutely, yeah,
bands to have those crossovers. And even it was
absolutely, yeah.
interesting this month I went to see a rock show, but the rap group Cypress Hill opened for them, and
Oh,
it didn't
nice.
it didn't look like they belonged on paper, but when you saw it live you can see like the crossovers of both their sides of people
Makes
getting
it
into the
makes
other
sense.
bands. And yeah.
It makes sense. Over here, especially in Europe, we have like all these big festivals going on, and we have like hip hop mixed with crossover metal and whatever on. It's like they play the same festivals and everything, and people dig it. That's awesome. It's like why if you're like into metal, why shouldn't you listen to hip hop or whatever? You know.
Hmm. Yeah, and speaking of live music too, I've seen some videos of both you guys in like smaller rooms and bigger festivals too. And
Hmm.
I know like at these hardcore shows, like sometimes the small rooms, like maybe in front of like 20, 30 people get the craziest. I don't know if it's just
Yeah.
condensed like energy, but what's
Hmm.
what's kind of like your vibe of like playing both from like the small gritty rooms to the bigger festivals? Is there one that you prefer or anything like that?
I wouldn't say I prefer this or this.
Yeah.
The thing is like playing a festival. You can get the attention of way more people. Because it's like you're not, like we're not the only band on a festival because like our mix up, obviously, like I said before. we can like get the attention of more people. Like a smaller show is people just come out to see us, for example, or the whole package is, which is attending at the club show. And it is more. It is you have the closer connection to the people on a club show, and we love rowdy crazy shows. It's like people on stage diving, running into the guitars and whatever. And that's we love the power and the energy which we can get out of the people on shows like this. Also on festivals, if you can, so you can just manage to control all the people, it's amazing. It's great.
Yeah, so cool. And is there like something?
So I would say,
yeah,
it's for me, it's like a 50-50 thing. I love both. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's very cool. Is there like a standout thing in mind when you're playing a show of something that's just absolutely crazy, like maybe the craziest things you've seen at a Nasty show?
The craziest thing, we had really crazy shows in Asia, especially. We did a China tour a couple of years ago. We didn't know what to expect, and I remember like playing the first couple songs on Somewhere in China. People were like not into that music at all because the only thing they knew was like, I don't know, so maybe some metal and punk rock music, but they never heard a band like us, and they were like, cool. And then like after 3 or 4 songs, they were like going crazy on stage and stuff like that. It was insane. So the switch that people took after a couple of songs was very, very nice to see.
That's got to be.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, that's got to be such an amazing feeling where at the beginning of maybe your set, you're like, oh, I don't know about this. They're not really feeling it. And then just to have that flip on its head, it's like, wow.
Insane. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And yes, like we, like as soon as we step on stage, we're like, oh, everyone's like just clicking and we just keep going. And there's no performance, no nothing. We just go crazy and we tried, it's like, this is like a pressure release for us, obviously. It still is. It was back then and it still is like this when we were on stage. And
yeah, I think that attests like big to the type of energy you guys project as well too, because even like real shit like this, it's pretty early for me. I woke up to do this interview, I had a coffee, and then I put on your music and I'm like, I don't even think I need the coffee, like I'm ready to just flip my desk right now. It's fucking awesome.
That's good. I like to hear that.
Yeah, if they take a quote from me for the new album, that would be, it makes you want to flip your fucking desk or something, or you don't need coffee.
We don't need I don't need coffee.
Yeah, just nasty.
And that's the thing is like all the people who don't know us, who just know the records and all the songs we release and see the videos or whatever. I want the people to see us live. Like if there's like any chance to see us live, it's a whole different thing, so a whole different level to like get to know the band and to catch all the energy,
Yeah, you know what? That's so true. And even like I feel like hardcore is best live. There's a lot of hardcore records that maybe I heard a single or whatever, and then when I saw the band live, I'm like, oh my God, I get it. And every time they come through town, like the energy's almost like a drug where like for example, just every time a Cannibal Corpse or a Hatebreed comes to town, like I didn't used to listen to their singles all the time or records when I was younger, but after I saw them, like every time they're in the city, I'm there just because I want that feeling. And I think
absolutely.
I think what's great about you guys, though, it's something within your sound. When I'm listening to it, like with a good pair of headphones, just really cranked, it feels like I'm in a pit at the show. Like there's just something about the production or something, I don't know, but it just hits me real hard.
I know what you mean. I had to like when I first had the master record in my hands and I was listening to it on full blast on my headphones, whatever. I was okay. Yes, this is pretty much the exact sound and everything we have on stage when we play live, and this is what I want to like provide to the people. It's like how you can produce like a clean record and everything, but I think like our record, especially this one, is very rowdy and raw. That's what I like.
Yeah, it's great. No auto tune, no like little
No, nothing.
samples or anything.
No,
You can just
no.
play it the same way, and I respect that a lot, man.
And for me, like the best, how do you say, when I jump into my car and listen to music, I have like
Mhm.
all of my settings, it's like the way I like to hear it. And every time I just put on the new record, it's on a whole different like volume level. Also, it's like, okay, I have to turn it down a little bit. It's it's
Yeah.
so hard actually. That's what I like.
Yeah, it's just like a wall of like getting punched in the face in the best way. It's like I
Yeah,
don't
in
know
the
what
best
it is,
way.
but I noticed like even like through my journey of almost doing interviews for 10 years, every time I meet somebody who's like in a metal band or a director of a horror movie, they always seem
Mm,
like the nicest people. And even like right now, like I'm
mm.
getting such like a happy vibe off you. It's almost like can you speak a bit about like how this music's been a release to your life? Because I truly believe people who do this kind of stuff, that's where they put out that maybe that negative energy to the point where
Yes.
when you have a casual conversation with them, you kind of feel like this warm vibe off them, you know?
Mm. Yeah. I mean, it's like we had a pretty rough time because of COVID,
Hmm.
especially with the band. We're like, especially Germany was crazy with all this because everything stopped, and we're like pretty much we're not living out of the band, but it was a big part of everything, and it stopped for
Yeah.
like 2 or 3 years, and I think you can hear all the angriness and all the bullshit which was going on in the lyrics, and especially in the music we do. And
Hmm.
yeah, there are like personal songs on this one. We're talking about love. We're talking about, there's one song which is called "Nobody Cares," and if you if you think deep enough, that's true. It's like no one gives a fuck about you if it comes to something like
Hmm.
being stopped by authorities not to do or what you like, what you love. And the band is around for like 20 years already, and we were forced to stop, and we had to stop. Sorry,
Hmm.
and that's the worst actually what could happen to us, because every time we step on stage, it is like I said, it's a pressure release for us, and we're not able to do it, and we're like, how do we call it, like caged dogs, like angry dogs who couldn't get
Yeah.
out, and we had no outcome or nothing, and
Yeah. Like a piece of you's missing type of thing.
absolutely, yeah. This was it was always a big part. We toured so much, we were playing so many shows, and it stopped like this, from today on, and couldn't do it like we did before, and just with what came along with all this were like, I don't know how what's the right word for it. It might be like identity crisis,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Because you were someone to someone, the people were like listening to you, they were like checking you out, you had a conversation at shows on wherever you've been, and this was gone
Yeah,
for a long
especially
time.
you telling me how passionate you are about the live show itself. Like I
Mm,
could imagine even like there was that unknown time during the pandemic where like we don't know if we can do this again. And I've talked to many other
yeah.
artists too, and it's just almost like having that time, even as that downtime as bad and uncertain it was, now they kind of
Mm,
have this extra fire that in perspective that
absolutely. Yeah.
this can be taken away from me, and it's almost like a
uh,
little extra
Anytime.
energy. Yeah.
No one actually knows what's going to happen next, and I think we have to live all this to the fullest, and that's what we do. The we stopped playing because we were like releasing the last record of the Menace one, and it came out in 2020, obviously during all this Corona bullshit, and
Mhm.
so we were not able to present the music to all the people. We couldn't tour, we couldn't play shows, we couldn't do anything about it. So this record is pretty much dead.
Mhm.
It was a good release for us. It was for us the best release so far, and we couldn't present it to the people because you release a record, you do this, play shows, play festivals, and everything. Everything was scheduled, but everything was gone from now on. And yeah, we were able to play a couple of shows, and first time we stepped on stage was 2 years after we finished playing the last show, and the first time we were jumping on stage was like everyone was crying or playing guitar, like
Oh
the drummer
man.
like crying while playing. It was very emotional and crazy. Yeah, it was a crazy roller coaster especially on this first show. Then we stepped on stage.
Yeah, wow. Well,
Yeah,
I'm glad you guys are back in action. Definitely if you guys tour Canada, I'm gonna be there. No.
I would love to come over. Definitely. We did America already a couple of times, but it didn't happen for different reasons now for a long time now. But it might work in the near future. So yeah,
Yeah,
I would love
definitely
to come over to US and Canada as well.
yeah, where I'm at in Toronto, there's a
Yeah.
big metal hardcore following. Same with a little bit ways away, Montreal, and then on the other side,
Mm-hmm.
Vancouver. Really big metal cities too. And I'm sure, like with your band's legacy too, there's people who are familiar with you guys who would be
Yeah,
dying to see
I
you and
mean,
go nuts.
we are we are friends with Get the Shot. I think they are from Quebec or something like that. I think Quebec maybe, I don't know. And also Comeback Kid, and
Oh, amazing.
so we toured with them over here already, and they always tell us to come over to do a tour with them in Canada, especially. And I was like, okay, yeah, we have to work it out somehow
Yeah,
someday.
yeah. Yeah, I'm sure it'll happen. And I'll be there going nuts. You'll see me jump
Yes,
off the stage and be like, hey, that's that guy who
nice.
interviewed me. But
But yeah, but no coffee before that.
yeah, no, too much. I'll have a heart
Yeah,
attack.
too much.
Yeah, dude, it's so cool. And even yeah, just listening to the record too, and like I mentioned at the beginning of the interview too, like just having that vibe of like just some type of authentic anger and frustration is kind of cool to kind of, even as tragic as the pandemic was, like kind of hear like what you pulled from that too. And there was an interview I did a week ago where I was talking to another artist, and we were just kind of saying like it's a gift and a curse for an artist. Like sometimes like the biggest pain makes the best song or the best comedy
Absolutely,
bit
yeah.
or whatever, like writing you do or anything. And it's just it's like almost like the superpower of an artist where you can take something tragic and turn it to something beautiful where you can present, people can connect to, you can make money off of it, a career. Like it's such a wild journey and everything.
Absolutely, yeah, yeah. But it's like all the songs we have on this new record. There's like nothing planned about it at all. We just
Yeah.
went into the studio. It's like I didn't work out anything at home. So everything we did on for this record, we did everything in the studio. So we did the pre-production and then recorded all the songs straight away. And so I had no time to think about any riffs at home. So everything happened in the studio, and it's always like a mood thing. So we have to do it like this. I have an idea, let's do it like this, and blah blah blah. So especially Maddie and me were like into the songwriting, and I have a great partner with Andy, who was recording, mixing everything. Yeah,
Yeah, very
it's good.
cool. And yeah, even I noticed with the new record as well too, you guys kind of take a nod to your past with the last two tracks as well. With the re-recording
Yes.
Declaring War and Chaos. And
Mm-hmm.
I went back and
Yeah.
tried to find like the original recordings and everything too, just to, but what kind of inspired you guys to kind of bring the band almost in a full circle way and end the album with those tracks?
The main thing before that we were already thinking about re-releasing old stuff. It's like doing like a raw personal best of and re-record all the older stuff because like all the people who get to know the band now, they don't listen to the old stuff. Like most of the people don't. That they know the last two records or something like that, but they don't know like the early stuff. But especially those two songs, we played them live for a million years now, and I think it's if you can present it like this again to the people, they might get into the older stuff again just because of listening to this.
Yeah,
Maybe.
no, it's a mission accomplished. Like I mentioned, I'm new to you guys, and I was like, oh, these are
Yeah.
old tracks and they're bangers, and I even like how the album ends with just that fucking breakdown. I'm like, oh man,
Yeah.
it's mission accomplished. Where I want to go back and like listen to your whole library now.
And things like we have always struggled to like write a record which is like 30 minutes long.
Mhm.
It's like all the songs we have 11 new songs on this record with the two re-release tracks. We have like 13 songs, and it's barely 30 minutes.
Yeah, that's
So
hardcore
like,
fashion though, it's a real
absolutely.
hardcore album when you see the
Yeah,
tracks and one's like 1 minute, the longest one's like
yeah,
3 minutes. It's just like
yeah.
punches you in and out,
But
like type of thing.
for us, it's like the perfect length for a song. So we don't have to like um, bore the shit out of people because we want to play one riff 14 million times more in one song. So we just try to keep it straight and simple and easy. It's like it's better to have the people listen to it more time. Like, what the fuck was going on there? So we just have to listen again, and yeah, I think this way is better. I
Yeah,
like
it's
it.
so
I like
it's
it.
so cool. And yeah, even like today I'm gonna go back and like listen to your early stuff. I think it is such a cool strategy to almost as you guys are getting more attention with big like being on a bigger label to re-release some
Mhm.
of those gems. And a friend of mine, she makes folk music, and she ended up getting
Mhm.
signed to like a big label. And she did the same thing with this one track that just all our friends loved. It's like nobody really heard it, and it was actually like the first song she
Yeah.
ever wrote. And she's like, I don't know, like, and then re-recorded it, and it's turned out to be like her biggest song. And she's like, oh, what the fuck? Like,
Yeah.
that's
You
crazy. But
see, that
yeah,
my goal is this way as well. Yeah.
yeah, that'd be so cool.
Good
And like,
strategy. Yeah.
yeah, those like how the album ends with those two older songs, absolute bangers. And it just kind of fits in like if I didn't like
Yeah.
read your press release, I wouldn't have known and just assume they were just all together with the vibe of how Heartbreak Criminal is kind of like put together.
I mean, it's like the ending of the record itself with the last song, "Kiss from a Rose." It's perfect for me, but just to have like two more additional songs, it's
Yeah,
a
the
good gimmick, I
encore, I
guess.
guess. Yeah.
Yeah, the encore. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's awesome. And just as a final question, I mentioned like a lot of like different creatives themselves listen to these interview segments, and just with you like in a rising like hardcore band and everything, would you have any like general advice for somebody or like a band who is doing this and maybe just kind of doing shows on their own and wanting to take a step into making a life or a career out of this?
Things like you have to keep going. It's like I know there are bands who are around who were not eating shit at all. Who were like had the chance to grow in a very straight up way. We didn't have the chance. We were like steadily going up and playing. It's like it took some time to be to come to this position where we're at right now. Being signed by a great label and playing like all this big festivals over here, touring worldwide, obviously. And it takes some time. Sometimes you have to eat shit, but you have to keep going.
Yeah,
And
and
that's, it is exhausting, and it might be painful, and it might be expensive or whatever, but the turnout is awesome if you come to this situation. It's possible to achieve this position. And yeah.
yeah, thanks. Well said. And I'm glad you guys kept going through the ups and downs. There's something I really admire about just I guess the tenacity and almost like I'm sure you guys had that feeling that you were doing something special and you can't give up no matter if you're playing in front of five
Yeah.
people or 50,000 in a festival, and it's something that's just real and I feel like meant to be.
Like I said, it is like the band and all the stuff we do it's like a very, very big part of our lives. So everything what we do, we try to do like to live it to the fullest. And especially like the last couple of years, it just reminded us to do so. And yeah,
Yeah, amazing,
we
Paddy.
try
Well,
to provide all this.
mhm. Yeah, well, I want to thank you for taking the time for talking to me this morning. It's so cool to like discover a band and then immediately talk to them and just kind of pick your brain on like all the stuff I appreciate, man. And like I said, if you guys are in Canada, I will be there. I will be in the pit throwing
Yeah,
down and everything.
throwing down coffees.
Yeah, full circle, man. Hope you guys enjoyed that interview with Paddy. He kind of proves this theory I have, that people who make really, really heavy music are the sweetest and nicest folks. And you guys are going to get another example of that in a couple episodes for my 200th episode when I have a death metal legend on. So stay tuned for that. And like we mentioned, Nasty is releasing their new album, Heartbreak Criminals. I got an early listen to that, and it's a must listen if you're into some heavy shit. And like we mentioned, it's under 30 minutes, so you're gonna put it on and you're gonna play it over and over again like I did, I promise you. And before we go, like always, we gotta thank all you legends on the Patreon page. First up, Mike Carniello with the Testing with Mike YouTube channel, Amanda McKnight of Top 10 Nerd, the wonderful Jenny Potter, the legend Devin McBride, Ryan frickin' Campbell, my favorite soul singer, Saber, and last but not least, Francis Coffer, aka my mom. If you want to support the show, get a shout out at the end of it, and get all these episodes raw, uncut, early, right when I'm done the Zoom call, I just go over there and post it. Go to patreon.com/thecreativeimbalance. It's only $4 a month, and beyond supporting the show, you can go to bed at night and sleep soundly, knowing you're a badass motherfucker who supports raw, uncut, independent media. And nobody can take that away from you. You hear me? Appreciate you guys listening to this. If this is your first time listening, whether you're on the Spotify, YouTube, iTunes, Google Play, all of that, give it a like, a follow, a subscribe, whatever keeps you in the loop of these episodes. And I will catch you next time. Cheers.